Hi folks, hope you're okay today. It's good to be with you. I want to do a series of videos on an article by Anthony R. Cross, which looks at mythology and the historicity of the Gospels and the New Testament. And I'll link to the article. I just want to talk about the unfairness of modern scholarship. During the 19th century, there was a big influence by the Tübingen School, which basically, I'm just looking at my notes here, which basically excluded the supernatural, and so therefore when it used literary tools, anything that was supernatural claimed in the Gospels was to be discarded, and that led to kind of esoteric theories of how the Gospels were written, how other books of the New Testament were written, which weren't actually rooted in any historical evidence. This anti-supernatural tendency led to the development of form criticism and redaction criticism by Norman Perrin, and form criticism by Rudolf Bultmann. Norman Perrin said the Gospels serve the Church. In other words, he says that the Church is the one that created the Gospels, not the individual writers, as it were. What that all means is, because there was this tendency to not believe what the Church was, what the early witnesses of the Gospels and New Testament were saying, but to not to believe what they were saying, to say, well, there's no supernatural there, so they're just not telling the truth. This is obviously developed over time mythology. That led to these kind of critical tools of form criticism and redaction criticism, and for theories about literary and text development of the New Testament, and late dates of the New Testament, etc. But Anthony Cross makes the point, which I think is a really good point, and he says that most of the New Testament scholars, like some of these great scholars of the past, were not trained historians, and if we're going to do history, then we need to use the historian's tools and methodologies. And that's not been done in a rigorous way in New Testament studies as much as it should be done. I think that's a powerful point. So Ross says, therefore it's important that the nature of history and historical methodology is understood. And I think that's a powerful point. He goes on to talk about the difference as a historian looks at events and facts, and that the historian has to deal with events and facts. Events are things that have taken place, whether you believe them, or whether you think they have or not, they have, and facts are what we know about history. I think what I get out of the article so far, and I'm just reading through it now, is the importance of tackling historical Jesus studies as a historian. And I think that that's what I've been trying to do over the year as I've been reading books in this topic, that I've tried to maintain that standard, where a lot of scholars in New Testament studies are not trained historians and do not use the historian's methods, but they kind of develop their own tools, and I think that they should move more into the historian's position. This article talks about the issue of hypotheses, the issue of imagination, and the fragmentary nature of data in historical studies, and then the need as a historian to ask questions like, what type of source are we looking at, who was the person or group who created the source, how and what purpose was the source written for, how much is the source based on first-hand witnesses, and how do we really understand the source. These are questions that a historian should be looking at, especially when we're looking at the New Testament. Those are my thoughts. I'm going to just finish off the article. It's 24 pages, I think, so hope it encourages you to study more. Thank you.